Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Padakkamalam Sri Gurun Shantitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lita Sri Vishakharnitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati Gaur Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
No, this side, this side.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Oh, glad you were
Hare
there.
Krishna,
Huh? I'm glad you were here.
Hare Rama, Hare
Now
Rama,
it is because
Rama Rama,
in a way it is
Hare
everything
Hare,
normal.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Then
Hare
making the
Hare,
same there.
Hare
So they all coming
Rama,
from there.
Hare Rama,
And then they said, oh, we can't come from there. We have to go. Then we see they all get together there. You know, that's what the point. And again, what will make difference? Whether you come from there or from there, same. And then they all come together from there. I think we follow the logic. You know, don't make it up all this big, but isn't this illusion? The total is some understanding. You know, the logic and the thing. They come and they take that from here. They come from there, they take it over there. I think it's now everything that's fine. Yeah, we open everything open. I was meeting all of them anyway. Thank you.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Mataji said you cannot do it. Mataji, you have to be in there. You can't. No, you can't. He was waiting. He said, no, I have done it for
Hare Krishna Vansha Sri Rupam Satvajatan Savana Raghunathantam Vam Sajivam Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanikanscha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Antarashtra Bhagavad ki jai, Swami Bhaktivedanta ki jai. This is working, right? It's on, right?
Maybe it's a button.
You have to on it from the mains. You know how to do the mains.
What else is it again?
Ask Pada, you know how to do the mains on the mic. I put everything together. I can't on it, so I don't know why. That's better, yeah. Hare Krishna. That's better. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So chapter 6, text number 6. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 6, text number 6. Dhyana Yoga. Text number 6, yeah. Okay, you got it? Okay. Bandhu Atmana Sthasya Yedatma Vidatmana Jita Atman Anatmanastu Sautatve Vatatmaiva Sutovat Bandhu Atmanas Atmatasya Yenatmaiva Atmana Jita Atatmanastu Suteva Vaitat Atmaiva Sutavad Bandhu Atmanas Atmatasyasya Yenatmaiva Manajita Anud Atmastuta Sutevya Anatmanastu Sutabhaya. Okay. Bandhu Atmanastasya Vainatmanastajita Atmanastu Sattuve Vatideva Sattuvad. Okay, word for word. Bandhu, friend. Atma, the mind. Atmana, of the living entity. Tasya, of him. Yena, by whom. Atma, the mind. Eva, certainly. Atmana, by the living entity. Jita, conquered. Anatmana, or one who has failed to control the mind. To, but, Sutreva, okay, because of enmity. Vedetata, Vedvateta, remains. Atma eva, the very mind. Satrudvat, as an enemy. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind remains the greatest enemy. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The purpose of practicing Eightfold Yoga is to control the mind in order to make it a friend in discharging the human mission. Unless the mind is controlled, the practice of yoga for sure is simply a waste of time. One who cannot control his mind lives always with the greatest enemy, and thus his life and his mission are spoiled. The conscious position of the living entity is to carry out the order of the superior. As long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictates of lust, anger, avarice, illusion, etc. But when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the personality of Godhead, who is situated within the heart of everyone as Paramatma. Real yoga practice entails meeting the Paramatma within the heart and then following his dictation. One who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. Om Agyanti Mandasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chaksu Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tina Mine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachai Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, so we're going to study the mind today. And actually the mind is based on affection actually. Without affection, you cannot do anything in this world. So because of our conditioned nature, we have affection for certain things. According to the modes, we are conditioned too. So this is based on a lecture by Tribhunath Prabhu. He gives a lecture on affection, showing how the mind is working. And he gives some quite clear examples to show how not to be affected by the mind. And in this lecture he's also showing how the more we understand we are not the body, because the mind is just, you could say it's like the reflection of the soul in one way. It's just been conditioned by matter. So the intelligence is like the bodyguard. The bodyguard, if you allow the intelligence to become weak, the bodyguard becomes weak and the mind takes over. So we have to make sure that the intelligence is strong, because the intelligence is next door or neighbor of the soul. And if you maintain pure intelligence in the mode of goodness, then our contact with Krishna is easier in terms of communication wise. And if we don't maintain mode of goodness and we allow ourselves to come to the mode of passion ignorance, then we get affected by the lower energies of this world. So I'll just go through it briefly, then we can discuss points by points. Everyone in the material world is born with delusion. We have deluded consciousness. It is compared to when you pollute water. Water is pure, but it becomes polluted when it is mixed with mud. So in the same way, we have polluted consciousness. The delusion of the material world is based on affection or sneha. This is a very important aspect of life. If everybody has some affection for something and that affection is affecting us, everyone has affection for his body. We are madly in love with our body. We think that there is nothing better than in the three worlds than us. That is the reason we don't like to be embarrassed. We like to hide behind the saying, well, I may not be perfect, but I am close enough. In the relative world, the living entity's affection is that he wants to be independent of Krishna. We have an affection that we want to be separate from Krishna. Everyone is very much under the control of this ahankar, this false ego of the mind. We create many different types of illusions. This affection is on account of that association. If you go into a room full of beautiful women, you will feel affection. If you are in a room full of ugly women, the affection will be less. If you go to a geriatric unit in a hospital, you're not going to get too excited. But if you go to a nice beauty contest with lovely looking naked girls, the mind will become excited. This psychology of affection is very important, as it can reveal so many things about the nature of the mind. The mind naturally is attracted to repulsed to sense objects. If you study the nature of attraction, it is always based upon the idea of sense gratification. We want to bring in something very nice for our senses to enjoy. So we're always hungry after that thing. Christmas time is a very good time. People are very busy, but the same objective is there to get something nice. In America, there is one toy that if you tickle its tummy, it laughs. And if you tickle it again, it laughs even more. And if you tickle it the third time, it goes completely berserk. People are willing to spend $500 for that toy, even though it costs only $28 to manufacture. People are willing to pay an enormous amount of it because their kids have some affection for it. The idea is that if you buy the children a nice toy, they'll become happy. But after a week or two, the kid completely loses his interest in it. These are stupid parents. One parent flew from America to England to buy this toy and bring it back. This is how crazy these people are. In the material world, so many things are objects of our affection. The human being is much more developed in consciousness. An animal has affection for the grass, but we want to taste nice things. If I showed you a nice double cream vegetable sabji, your mind would be shaking and your whole economy is disturbed. Oh, how can I get my teeth into that? We are kept in the material world due to the nature of the tongue. If you look at all the animals, practically speaking, the whole concentration goes down through the tongue. You may see a big tiger or a lion. As soon as you throw it food, the whole concentration and the whole affection moves. Some animals will even fight with their children or wife. They'll bite them. They'll bite anything that comes. The nature of the tongue is to vibrate and to taste. These two things are very attractive to the tongue. We want to vibrate our tongue to communicate the wonderful reservoir of knowledge within our mind. We are so puffed up with the empty space between our ears, we think there is so much there that we can communicate to the world, as if the whole world has been waiting for us to come and reveal to all of them the wonderful speculations that we have been going on in our minds since time immemorial. Everybody wants to vibrate their tongue, even if they got nothing to talk about. Even a Papa is proud of his miserable old penny. We think we have something important to give, and that gives us some sort of self-importance, that we are worth something, but a man is worth what he speaks. Practically speaking, a fool can immediately be known if he opens his mouth. You can immediately suss this person out. This guy is an idiot, a thick-headed, dumb mutt, or this man is very intelligent. This man is very advanced in knowledge. What is the nature of this sound, vibration? Simply talking about all of the different illusory things we see. This material world is known as an ocean of names. Everything has a particular name. It is very important to study the psychology of names. Names are meaningless, but they have an indication to something. They don't give the fact of something. For instance, by saying the word gravity, we appear to have grasped the concept, but actually it's cheating to say the word gravity, because we don't even really know what gravity is. We know what the word is, but we don't know what it is referring to. You might say it's the law of gravitation, or something floats under the law, but in actuality, none of us understand gravity. We say the word sun, but nobody understands the sun. But because we have given it a designation, it has come into our expecting jurisdiction. We have brought it into our jurisdiction. We have named it departmentalized it departmentalize it and put it under our control. This is the nature of the material world. We like to put everything within name. As soon as a new thing comes out, it's immediately entered into the dictionary. Now they've even invented slang words, so everything can be named very nicely. But in actuality, nothing is understood about the thing. If I say my name is John Smith, what does John Smith mean? Does it mean any actual meaning of who I am? In spiritual life, we say that Krishna means all attractive and Rama means the reservoir or pleasure. They have meaning. But within the material world, all of these various types of names are meaningless. They are all the interactions between the sense and sense objects, senses and sense objects. In one country, they have a name for something, and in another country, it has a different name. But still, the point is that all of these things are simply manifestations of three modes of material nature. By themselves, they have no actual spiritual meaning. Materially, they might have some connection. The tongue is very powerful because it likes to enjoy foodstuffs. It likes to drink intoxicating liquid. It likes to take all sorts of nice foodstuffs, juicy, tasty, succulent things. In that way, the tongue keeps us very much bound by affection to the material world. That's why in the yoga systems it is very important not to cater to the tongue. Because the whole understanding of the system of yoga is the more you cater for your senses, the more you become subject to the objects of the senses. The more you become an actual servant of the objects, the more you serve your senses, the more faithful you become to the objects of the senses. You become subservient to those objects. I have a wife, she is very beautiful. So I serve her very nicely. She serves me and I become very attached because she serves me very nicely. She gives me a little peck on the neck before I go out, and she has a nice, sweet, smiling body. She has a nice, sweet, smelling body. It actually smells diabolical, but they put some perfume on it to cover it. This is affection. And she calls me sweetie pie. So my heart is going boom, boom, boom. Why? Because most people are just looking for affection. They need affection. The soul is very affectionate. Krishna is the reservoir of all affection. He is the reservoir of all personality. He is the Supreme Personality. The natural affection of the living entity is meant for Krishna. Spark of the fire, although minuscule, has the same quality as fire. The fire has the ability to burn. It has heat, light and energy. Similarly, by studying one little drop of water, it can give you the constitution of the water. In the same way, the constitution of the soul is affection, but that affection is misdirected in the material world on account of association. One time on a morning walk with Srila Prabhupada, there was some ice on the ground and he was hitting it with his stick and asked, "What is this?" Someone said, "Prabhupada, that is ice." Prabhupada said, "No, that is originally water. But in association with the cold, it has become hardened and has become rock hard." If you throw some water on someone, it's not so bad. But if you throw a lump of ice on them, you can cause some serious injury. So because the living entity is separate from Krishna in the material world, his heart has become very hard. What is that hard-heartedness? That hard-heartedness is on account of association with kama, lusty activities. These lusty activities make us very, very demoniac. Demoniac means hard-hearted. Anyone can understand that. Crooks, robbers and thieves are all very hard-hearted people. They go and shoot someone in the head and take their money, or rape an innocent woman, or murder some child. The real meaning of consciousness is lost on association with matter. The original nature of the consciousness of the living entity is to love and affection. They are inseparable. When one has love, then automatically one has affection. This nature of love is covered over in the material world. The living entity is very much suffers on account of these false attachments. The nature of Maya is that if you become attached to something proportionate to the amount of attachment you have for that thing, to that degree you suffer, you will suffer. To the degree that you are attached, to that degree you will suffer. Anything in this material world will only bring you suffering. It brings you suffering because it is temporary. A man is very much in love with his child. He loves his beautiful little 12-year-old daughter. She kisses him, she loves him. And then suddenly she's dead. And then the man is broken-hearted. The whole world becomes vacant. The whole universe becomes vacant. And we see so many times when a boy loves a girl very intensely and then she dies in a car crash or something, then he also commits suicide. He left a little note saying, "Julie, I couldn't live without you. My heart was broken and my heart was broken. I was going crazy all day and night, so the pain of jumping off 15-story building is nothing compared to the pain of missing Juliet in this world." He was so much broken-hearted for Julie. His heart was broken in a million pieces. Somebody else is crying, I never got over it when Mom died. I never got over it. My heart was broken. In that way, we become broken-hearted. This breaking of the heart is Maya's business. Maya is there to break your heart. There is another word for Maya. That means one who makes you cry forever. One who makes you cry eternally. Maya will make you cry and cry. I wanted that thing, but it didn't stay for very long. That is the nature of this material world. We are very eager for that thing. We are very lusty after that thing, but unfortunately, that thing will not stick around. It will not stay. Even this body won't stay. I love my body so much. My body is very dear to me. I'm thinking about it 24 hours a day in front of my very eyes. It is disintegrating. It's falling apart. This is the nature of the material world. Everything that you put your affection into gets lost. The nature of the material world is to kick you. Maya's business is to kick you. Adhyatma, miseries of the mind, we are very attached to our mind even though it has caused us unlimited misery. So he gives some points here. He gives a few points. Still I think the problem is, I think the actual situation is, I think the person doesn't understand me. I think I'm a really nice guy, but nobody understands how nice I am. I think this is a real problem. I think these guys are all a bunch of demons. This is the nature of me and mine. The word I is very demoniac. As soon as you say, you are Maharaksha, big demon, Prabhupada always used the word we. Do you notice that? Bhaktivedanta Thakur also always used we, because the living entity is never I in the material sense. I means separate consciousness, separated consciousness. We means Krishna and I. That is the real point. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see many examples of people being affected with affection to something. Particularly Arjuna and Yudhishthira Maharaj. As soon as they showed some affection, immediately the whole mind was completely disturbed. Yudhishthira Maharaj was completely disturbed because so many people died on the battle of Kurukshetra. He was the son of Dharmaraj, the son of Dharma, religious duty, and he was feeling great affection because of me. All these people suffered and died from these wounds. How many millions must have been marriageless, husbandless, Sunless. Even Arjuna lost his son. They were all sunless. They were all suffering and crying. There was tremendous suffering, tremendous suffering. Yudhishthira Maharaj couldn't tolerate it. Oh Krishna, what have I done? I have caused so much pain just so that I could be reinstated as king. Even though Krishna tried to explain to Yudhishthira Maharaj that this was all providence, it was predestined by the nature, kala, time. Krishna says, time I have come to destroy all these soldiers. Krishna has come as time. Any comments or questions so far? Okay. Okay.
The mind, due to the association, has some thoughts which are undesirable. If we notice that there are undesirable thoughts, does this help us realize that we're not the mind?
Best not to contemplate the thought. Everything starts from contemplation. Thinking, feeling, willing. In other ages, if you think something bad, you get a reaction. When Kali Yuga, Krishna is merciful that the reaction doesn't come to the point of thinking, feeling, willing, to the point of willing comes. So better to stop at a thinking stage. Thinking, feeling. Feeling stage is difficult to stop. Then it comes to the thinking, feeling, willing. So better to stop at a thinking stage. Just cut it off. So just don't even dwell on it. Just cut it off. That's the way you do it. And like Trivana Prabhu said, like in his lecture, that everything is based on association. So if you associate with advanced devotees, it won't affect you. If you're with people who are not advanced, then it can affect you. Like Srila Prabhupada gives an example. There's a story with Vyasadeva backing this up, how Vyasadeva had a disciple, and his disciple was thinking that, because in 7th canto is mentioned, or the Bhagavatam is mentioned, that one should not be with his wife, daughter, mother in a lonely place. Even one with knowledge, because the senses are so powerful that it can affect one. So the disciple of Vyasadeva was thinking, I don't believe this statement. So Vyasadeva, he wanted to show him that it's the Bhagavatam is a reality, it's not just a story, it's a reality. So he told him one time, I'll teach you a lesson. So it was a windy day, raining, windy, it was night time. And the disciple was in his room, and he heard a woman crying in the wind and the cold, and so he allowed the woman to come into his room, and he stayed on one side of the room and he stayed on the other side of the room. Different places were staying. At some point, he told the woman to come to his room. At that point, that woman turned into Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva said, what I was telling you is true, it's a reality, it's not just written down for the sake of being written down as a story. It's a reality. So the more we take the scriptures as realities which apply to us, then these other things just go out the window. Because we sink to the eyes of scriptures.
And then what to do if you're trying to come with those deities and our mind is very, so sometimes it's, you can cause offenses, or it's, our mind is very, sometimes it's very disturbed, and I'm not inviting you to see deities, it's best not to take that, it's not always best.
Yeah, just seeing the deities, you come to more the goodness. just seeing the deities, You come to more devotion automatically. You have to think what Krishna looks like on the altar. Just glorify Krishna. The dress he's wearing, the peacock feather on his head. Just meditate from the lotus feet to the head, Just meditate like that. You get purified. And try to be more positive when you're seeing the deities. Prabhupada said that in teaching on Queen Kunti lecture. He said, even if someone cannot chant the holy name, he can remember the holy name. And even if he can't chant the holy name, he's finding it difficult. He's looking come from the deities and see the deities. He'll get benefit just by seeing the deities. So it's a you just have to let things go. You shouldn't be too emotional about things. That's the main thing. Because if you're emotional about things, it makes it harder for you to advance spiritually. Emotional means you're too much at the bodily platform. You should let things go. I asked one devotee some time back, he's a senior devotee, twin brothers, Janani Vas and Pankajani Prabhus, they came here some time back. I spoke to Janani Prabhu and I said, say for example, you can't maintain proper cleanliness, like some people are, just the body's contaminated, right? It's just affected with disease, whatever, right? You can't maintain proper cleanliness. What to do then? And I said, you try your best. Ultimately, you have to understand you're not the body. That's it. It's the story of Lord Chaitanya and Sanatana Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now, when Sanatana Goswami, he went to the Jarakhanda forest, right? He drank some dirty water, From that, he got wet itches. You know wet itches? Blood is coming out the skin, and so he got to Jagannath Puri, and Lord Chaitanya was embracing him. Even in that condition, Lord Chaitanya was embracing him. So Sanatana Goswami was thinking, I feel offended that Lord Chaitanya is embracing me in my disease condition, So he was planning to commit suicide in front of the Rath Yatra cart, Lord Chaitanya knows everything, right? Being the Supreme Lord. So he came to Sanatana Goswami one time and he told him that actually this property doesn't belong to you, it belongs to me. You surrender your life to me. So you have no right to dispose of it by your own will. And Lord Chaitanya said that if I can attain Krishna Prema by committing suicide, I would have done hundreds of times. So Sanatana Goswami, he's because at one point he asked Jagannatha Pandit that I feel not so good about Lord Chaitanya embracing me, in this condition, and you think it's okay for me to go to Vrindavan? Jagannatha Pandit gave permission. So when Sanatana Goswami told this to Lord Chaitanya wasn't happy. He said, you're senior to Jagannath Pandit. Who is this Jaga giving you advice? And then Sanatana Goswami, he started to glorify Jagannath Pandit. He said, actually,